Hello everyone, Drew Wilson of Your Era Gamer here. Today I'll be traveling to the year of 2024. This is when the Nintendo Switch game Mario and Luigi Brothership was released. This is the most recent installment to this franchise. So, I've got 10 minutes on the clock. Let's see what this game is about. So my understanding of this game is that it's supposed to be a RPG style game. So I have a health bar, and I have a shell bar? Okay. Not sure what that's about. I mean, the only thing I could think of is that maybe it's some sort of like ability or something. Okay, you can't land on those. Okay. What I was looking for was like a hidden block, because that's a very well-known thing with Mario games, is you jump around for hidden blocks. It's been a thing since the very first Mario game anyway. Super Mario. I think the original Mario Brothers game, the one with the 4 pipes and the power block in the middle, that's the only one I can think of that doesn't necessarily have that. Choose an enemy to attack with jump. Press the button as you stomp on the enemy to make the attack count. You'll also get a bonus stomp. Cool. You can often jump to dodge an enemy's attack. Press the button to jump at just the right moment, and the enemy's attack will dodge. If you jump and land directly on top of an enemy, your dodge becomes a jump counter, and you can deal damage. Cool. Interesting, actually. This is reminding me more of Paper Mario than Super Mario RPG, mostly because of the menu on the top. Defeating enemies gives you experience. Once you level up, you begin a level, and you level up, your stats increase and you get stronger, which makes it easier to defeat more enemies. Paper Mario employed stars instead of experience points, so it's interesting to see this go back to experience points, which is more of a Super Mario RPG game at the very least. So that's kind of interesting. Anything up here? There is. Now, in a lot of Mario games, the coins end up being like currency for buying stuff. This was definitely the case with Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario as well. However, there are games where the coins are more like a high score more than anything else. So it really depends on the RPG game or the Mario game. Blockades are nothing new. Yeah, so in the intro, you basically are hanging out with Luigi, and you get sucked into some sort of thing there. And of course, okay, that's a twist. So I think this is an indication that you need the partnership in order to move this. Alright, let's go grab those coins I saw earlier. Sweet. So that is something that is actually from Paper Mario. Oh, we can take. Hang on. Hold R while an enemy is attacking to guard against it. This will decrease the amount of damage you take if you aren't confident that you can dodge an attack, or if you want to watch how. Give me his. Try emergency guard. Okay. So R. Just hold R. Okay. Okay, so I now know how to guard. I'm sure both have their uses. But I now know how to guard. Sweet. I know in Paper Mario, you also got a hammer. So you can either jump on an enemy, or you can hit it with a hammer. Depends on the enemy, of course. Some enemies you don't want to jump on. Some enemies you don't want to hit it with a hammer. And you have to do the other ones, that sort of thing. Or the other move. And that will probably be unlocked later. But by doing that, you also basically deal damage right away. So that's how I knew to do that. Interesting that they incorporate the flagpole as the experience point indicator. It's actually kind of, in a way, it's taking note of other RPG games out there. Because some RPG games have a little meter as an indicator. Yeah, you'll need something to get there. Unless... No. Okay. No invisible blocks there. So we're advancing the plot. Cool. So I think with the that kind of indicator appearing, it's kind of like a nod to some of those other RPG games. It's a good feature to have in RPG games, honestly. What would be a good example of that? There might be some of that in Diablo games, but first, I know this feature is in different games. I think Might and Magic, some of those games have that. But yeah, anyway, it's a good feature to have. It's a good indicator to figure out, okay, where am I at in terms of getting experience points and how much more do I need percentage-wise. So, I like it. So we're loading onto the next area. An island that's a boat. So this is a mirror of the earlier scene where Mario actually rescues Luigi in the same way. I'm kind of curious if you can go back to that introductory island to get some of the items. I'm sure there's going to be a way. There has to be. Back together, now the adventure can start for real. It follows Mario wherever. Make Luigi jump by pressing B. Interesting. About the same. So you can't ground pound yet. I'm sure they will hold something. Usually those are breakables. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's nothing new for dialogue. Usually is either babble or nothing, or it's just text-based. I would imagine that just putting the babble in would be better for a more modern game. Concordia. Peaceful place, at least it used to be. Interesting name, that's for sure. So that is it for the recording. Very interesting so far. Yeah, I would say I'm being reminded of different elements of different RPG style games, and especially, obviously, Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario. The battle scenes are very similar to the original Paper Mario for sure. So it's it was easier for me to pick up and figure things out. I know there was a return of like preemptive strikes, which is basically me jumping on the enemies before going into battle. So that's definitely making a return here. Coins definitely make a return here. So I'm at the moment operating on the assumption that that is based on actually a currency that is based on. You can buy supplies, that sort of thing. I would be surprised if it wasn't, honestly, but I'll find out later on. Anything else? I had some other thoughts too, but suddenly I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting game so far. Yeah, I'm gonna be curious to see how it goes from here. Anyway, enough about me. I wanted to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this particular game? For those of you who have played this game, what are your thoughts on this? Did you find this to be a really good game, or were you just haven't gotten to it yet? It is a fairly new game at this point in time, so maybe you haven't gotten to this one yet, or maybe you saw this and thought, I'm not really a fan of the Paper Mario style game. Maybe I'll pass on that, and then maybe I'll pass on this too. I don't know. Like, any thoughts at all, let me know in the comments below. For those of you who haven't played this game but have played other games in the franchise, there are other Mario and Luigi games apparently. What are your thoughts here? Does this look like a game you'd be interested in playing, or maybe this is not necessarily your style of game, and you've already played other Paper Mario games, and maybe you have your own thoughts on that. Maybe you prefer the older versions of these games. Yeah, any thoughts at all, for sure, let me know in the comments below. And for those of you who have never played any of these Mario RPG based games, what are your thoughts on this, on what you saw here? Does this look like kind of an interesting game to you? Maybe something you might be able to pick up and play at some point, or maybe this isn't or maybe this you don't like RPG games, maybe you prefer the more action based games like Super Mario Odyssey, or maybe even the Mario Kart games. Maybe you have different preferences. Yeah, any thoughts at all? Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking about this in terms of this game. Anyway, I guess that is all for now, and until next time, what is your era?